From a distance, they look like circling vultures. Look closer, though, and a swarm of colored wings comes into view. They're paragliders, flying so closely that they sometimes touch.
It feels like you're up there doing the most amazing thing that you could possibly do with a bunch of friends, legally. And it's fucking, we're in a big mobile together. We're all going up together.
These paragliders, 160 of them from all over the world, are flying high above the hills west of Medford in a competition known as the Rat Race. Organizer Mike Haley says it's like a yacht race in the sky.
We're really using thermal lift, which is generated from the sun heating the earth and pockets of hot air rising up. And we'll ride those currents and get high above this mountaintop. We'll connect those dots over a course just like a yacht race, and we'll have these guys flying courses that have turn points all around these mountains that they have to go tag, and the first person that go wins the course that day.
Yeah, Jamie.
If you want priority launching, come see me and I'll fit you in right now.
Hands right, launch it right.
It's called the Rat Race because competitors launch from Woodrat Mountain, perched 3,700 feet above the Applegate Valley. It's here where each day of the 7-day event begins with tense anticipation.
Wow, looks like a jigsaw puzzle, doesn't it?
Mike and his team have to design a challenging but safe course for pilots who will have nothing but the wind and air currents to power them.
And what's your opinion on this turning Rabies Peak into a 400 meter for the sprint group?
If it's 8,500 feet, it's fine.
Yeah, but
if it's not, then it's a tough sending them in there low.
So we're trying to pick paths that seem to have appropriate points where we know they can fly and they're going to continue their course with lift. Our goal is to get 30, maybe 40% of the people that can complete the course.
That means that 60% won't make it. They'll struggle and bail out, hopefully somewhere safe in the valley below. So when the day's challenge is presented to the pilots, their attention is unwavering.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's going to be a lovely day. This course line's not so much longer than yesterday, but it's certainly going to be more difficult, I think, than yesterday's course
Pilots
line.
get busy programming GPS units that will help guide them between the otherwise invisible waypoints that Mike has laid out across the sky.
After 2 o'clock, you've got to have one recorded point outside 2K.
Then they wait for warm air to rise from the valley, air that pilots will ride like escalators in the sky.
Right now, everybody's got this sense of intention and tenseness because we all think it's going to be good, and it's not good yet. So we're all watching. Sooner or later, one of those guys is going to catch a screaming thermal and go up to those clouds, and hopefully they'll be at 8,000 feet. And then there's going to be a mad scramble here, and you'll feel the energy. It'll be just like electricity. I don't know if it's going to. It might affect your recording gear. There's going to be so much energy on launch.
Okay, launch is open. Okay, I feel a cycle here.
And then it happens. Pilots start launching one nearly every 30 seconds.
Left turn day. Left turn. Left.
You get a feeling of euphoria. Like you take off and you're running and you're charging and you're nervous and you're excited and you get out there and you get in your harness and you get all set up. And you go, whew, flying, It's such an amazing thing.
Martina Lang is one young pilot from Canada who has yet to complete this race after years of trying.
Today's a lot harder course, but I'm going to remember my mantra from yesterday, never leave the lift, stay high, and try and fly with other people.
With this many pilots, there is one absolutely critical rule. Everyone has to turn in the same direction. And the result is a mesmerizing gaggle of color.
It can be a little bit scary at times, but once you get in it, it's like being a part of a huge mobile, and it feels like nobody's moving because everybody's moving at the same rate. It's a miracle.
It looked dangerous, but we couldn't help but want to know what it was like to be in that gaggle. So the field guide crew took a few pilots up on their offer to get in the mix.
How are you doing up there?
I'm doing good.
Photographer Todd Sonfleet jumped into a tandem with local pilot Greg Babish.
Okay, let's lean right. Got a much stronger thermal. And if you can hear the vario chirping a lot faster, that signifies that we're climbing significantly faster than we have yet so far today. My head's on a swivel because there's pilots all around here. From the ground, looking up, a person might think it's really kind of crazy up here because they see pilots going everywhere, but really it's kind of organized. I always think of the Tour de France. We've got hundreds of bicyclists riding really fast and close together, but they're all going a similar speed, and that's the same with us here.
As long as everybody does what they're supposed to be doing, it's not nearly as chaotic as it looks from the ground. On the other hand, sometimes it's more chaotic than it looks from the ground. So.
All right, launch it left.
In a race where pilots fly with no motors, finding the thermals that serve as fuel is a big challenge.
There's going to be large columns of rising air, and there'll be 100 people in that one column going up at the same time.
Without other pilots, we're kind of flying blind unless there happens to be some smoke or a bird thermaling up. If you look in front of us, that orange glider's climbing really quick. We're going to go try and get in that thermal with them.
It's kind of like you're surfing, but you can't see the waves. You have to figure out what the wind's doing, where the sun's heating, where it's warmer. And again, when you're flying with this many people, if you see someone sinking to your left and going up to your right, you're going to go right and follow them there.
And all the while, these paragliders are racing from point to point and trying to beat each other to the finish.
This is a lot going on. Not only are we asking you to launch safe, be safe, fly safe, now we're asking you to fly specific courses where it's not just necessarily where the easiest course is. We're saying, no, you have to go here today, and we know it's into a headwind, which is really slow, and they have to fly the course that we want, but it's not easy.
After hours in the sky and after 4 years of trying, Martina finally makes it to the finish.
Welcome! Good for you. That's fantastic. Good flight?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Must have been a good flight. Oh, wonderful.
I've been to these competitions a few times and I've always landed short, so it's a big goal I just met.
Eventually, all the other pilots start dropping out of the sky too, into local farm fields and wineries. Some come in smoothly, and some don't. Nearly all of them, though, land with a smile on their face.
I did well. I had a good start and a lot of good climbs, and looks like I came in first, so.
Must feel good.
That feels great.
Who had their best time yesterday? Distance, duration.
First time in goal and was my longest flight.
Yes, there is competition at Rat Race. It is a race after all. But there's also a strong bond that comes from spending 7 days sharing in the passion that comes from getting airborne.
And some people tell us this is like, summer camp for adults. Well, maybe that's true. And we like to come out and have a good time.
Beautiful job. Awesome. Dude, you helped me climb out.
And the flying, it's just amazing. I mean, you're up there 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 feet. It is at times a Zen-like spiritual experience.
Great people just doing their thing in their own Northwesty way. We love bringing you stories like this. Support what you love. OPB.org/video.